Hi, I'm Shannon. Thanks for making time to join me for this introductory series of videos regarding evolving family and the principles of an evolving family. I put this together to give people an idea of really where I stand when it comes to all of this family stuff and education and parent coaching and that kind of thing. Just to be upfront, I don't believe that there's really any right way to do things. The right way is the way that works for your family, that is also respectful and honors all individuals. So obviously things like abuse and neglect and punishment are out, but there are so many methods, so many different theories on personalities and family dynamics out there, and there isn't one that works for everybody. So this is a method, a theory, a way of thinking that works for me, and it's worked with many other families that I have been honored to help in the past, and I hope that it's something that resonates with you. So this is your opportunity to have an introduction to that and to get accustomed to me and my style to see if this is something that you'd like to carry on with. So in this series, we will talk about the 8 principles that I see in families who are actively evolving. And we'll also talk a little bit about what you might do next if you complete this and you think, oh yeah, I want to do this with my family. But first, I want to give you a little bit of information about me and my family so you can see where I'm coming from, because I think that connection is really important. So I married my husband in 2002, and in 2013 we had a little boy. We had quite a long time as being a married childless couple before we became parents, and for us that was a wonderful thing, but there were also some hard parts about that. Waiting for so long to become parents was difficult, and my pregnancy was very difficult and life-threatening and involved a couple of scary emergency room visits and lots of bed rest. And about midway, well, actually it was 23 weeks, as I recall, because moms don't forget these kinds of things. We received a fetal diagnosis for our son that suggested that he had a abdominal wall defect. And the medical team strongly urged us to terminate the pregnancy multiple times. Our son is happy and healthy right now, and so of course we did not choose to terminate, and this isn't a discussion about pro-life or pro-choice at all, and I honestly truly make no judgments about that. For us, we did what felt right, and we're really glad that we did. But that time was extremely difficult, and it was easy to feel as though, as much as they wanted to support us, that our friends and family really didn't appreciate where we were coming from, because they hadn't been there and they hadn't had that kind of experience. And once our son was born, he required surgery and was in the neonatal intensive care unit. That's where he started his life. We were fortunate to be able to bring him home, and he had a very normal 18 months or so, and then was diagnosed with epilepsy, and that has been something that's changed how I look at parenting anyway, again, because now I need to be vigilant in different ways that I hadn't thought about before. And it's also an eye-opening experience to be back in the hospital situation with diagnostics and lots of appointments and things like that. And it's from this experience and from seeing how the relationship that my husband and I have has increased in its strength and resilience during this time, that I have a special interest in working with families who are living with grief, with loss, with any type of medical hardship or special needs. because these are things that the average normal family, for lack of a better term, but you know what I'm talking about, they don't experience this kind of stuff, and it can be really difficult to feel like somebody understands that suddenly the issues that you have in making decisions about child rearing are, they feel different. Maybe they are different, maybe they're not, but they feel different. So that's a little bit about where I come from, and as we work together, I will tell you more, because I think that, like any other relationship, it's both parties have to give, and I really want to make sure that we have a very solid, very authentic, and nurturing connection between us, so that we can share and talk about difficult things. As far as how I like to work, I generally like to keep things short and simple and get to the point. I value content much more than I value appearance, which is why my videos and materials are not necessarily splashy or shiny, but they do have a lot of information, and I do plan them thoughtfully, and I hope that pays off, and I hope that it comes through in the material. I would much rather invest my time in delivering content that is meaningful and accessible than something that looks perfect and is just average or adequate. So that's a little bit about how I work and kind of my story. I'm looking forward to hearing about your story, and I hope that even thinking about some of these principles makes a little tiny bit of difference in your family and your journey.